Hello, everyone. Wishing you well. And welcome to my final video in the series all about computer and smartphone posture problems. And today's video is all about the knees. And so the posture I'm referring to is the one that we'd have mostly when we're on our phone and where have our hips forward and our knees back. And I've talked about this posture a lot before about how we need to bring our head back, open the chest, strengthen our middle back, our core, our hips, our legs. And if you haven't seen all of those videos, you can go and check them out. And I'm focusing on the hyperextension of the knees because with all of the videos, I'm wanting to keep you out of pain and unnecessary tension and not setting yourself up for injury. And if you are chronically hyperextending your knees back, you might be feeling pain in the front of the knee due to compression in the joint, in the back of the knee due to the ligaments being overstretched. You might feel pain inside the knee because the ligaments are torqued. And also, you're setting your ankle up to be tight and weak because your weight is back towards your heel instead of on the center of your ankle. And so you don't have the power and the propulsion that you normally want to have to move through your day. And so the first thing is to check out on the camera on your phone or in a mirror your posture. Okay, and so when you're standing, you want to see that the hip bone that's on the side of your body is lined up with the center of your ankle bone and not forward. Okay, and so you line that up and then you just slightly relax the knees so that they're available for movement rather than being pushed back and locked into hyperextension. And if you are used to locking them back into hyperextension, when you line everything up and just slightly relax the knees, it can feel very strange. It can feel like you're bending your knees. But you want to be focusing on lining everything up to feel straight rather than going to the extreme feeling to feel like it's straight. Okay, so that's the first thing that you might need to train is your sense of what straight is and what locked is. And so we're just going to practice that standing. If you can be standing with your feet hip distance apart, grow tall, imagining a string pulling up through the top of your head. And then if you can just do a soft knee bend, making sure your knees are pointing straight forward in line with your feet, and just doing a gentle bounce of the knees as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, push the floor away, just bringing your legs to a lined up position where your hip bone's on top of your ankle bone and not letting your hips push back or your knees push back. And again, inhale as you bend your knees, letting them soften and lining up the pelvis to the feet so they have a really good relationship to each other. Then you push the floor away. You keep the tailbone down. You keep the legs lined up instead of letting them push back into an extreme. So you're trying to feel that difference. And again, inhaling as you bend the knees. And then exhaling, pressing just until things are lined up. When you hyperextend the knees, you don't grow any taller, right? You just want to go until you feel tall. Okay, that can be a good measurement. And we're going to take it further. You'll inhale as you bend the knees, again, going into that bounce, keeping the tailbone down, lined up with your feet. And then exhale as you push into the floor, legs going straight but not locked, and rise up onto your toes. Up here, you want to have your weight towards your first and second toe and not rolled out towards your pinky toe. So it can be really helpful to imagine that you have a ball at the ankles and at the knees to keep your inner thighs connected, and then slowly lower. And again, inhaling as you bend your knees, really spread your toes out. And then as you exhale and press into the floor and rise up, keep your toes spreading out. So you're not gripping the feet to try and find your balance. You want to get lots of surface area connected to the floor. And again, inhaling as you bend your knees. Now, if you're finding your balance very tricky, you might be hyperextending your knees. So as you press your legs, just try to go to straight and not locked, and then rise up. But it could also be because your ankles are weak and stiff because of prolonged hyperextension. So it just takes time. And we'll do one more. Feel free to hold on to something to help you feel your balance. Breathing in as you bend, and then breathing out as you push into the floor and rising up. Your core is drawn in, ankle bones are in, toes are spread. And then slowly lower. Good. And so when we are through our day, we don't normally rise up onto our toes, but we do this same kind of pushing action when we're walking or when we're running or climbing up the stairs. We want to have that ability to propel ourselves forward using our muscles and using the proper mechanics of the joint rather than sitting into the joints and letting them become locked and stiff. Okay, so I hope that feels really useful and interesting. And of course, I hope you practice these exercises so that you can be feeling good and moving well through your body for a long, long time. And as I said, this is the last video in this computer and smartphone posture series. However, I will be doing weekly videos addressing other postural issues and how to have better alignment, core strength, breath, posture, connection. And so I hope you enjoy those. Thanks very much for watching. And as always, I'm wishing you very well. Take good care.